Enough of that. Okay.
Well, that was unexpected.
Yes. Hi, we are back again because stubbornness, I guess. Um,
Just
last time we actually got stats on sheets.
ooh.
It was incredible. And basically, at the last minute, I sent you guys a TXT of possible planets for you guys to have your character come from. So maybe we'll look at that a little bit. But I think today's the day where we negotiate your equipment.
I like how you put that. Negotiate.
I'm not going to force anything on you. It's your character.
I look away for a second. And wait, what?
It's your character.
I want 25 lightsabers.
Okay. You still only have two hands and you don't have the lightsaber skill. If you fail the roll, you kill yourself.
I'm just a collector, like in real life.
You're an in-universe Jedi super fan.
I kind of like this.
Oh my goodness, that could be really funny.
I kind of
Anakin
like it.
saw me, and I said, "Not force sensitive," and so he just left me alone. I got so many lightsabers that day.
Oh man, there's so much potential for stupidity.
An in-universe super fan. It would be great. Actually, would be for us to roll a character sort of like that at some point, except they believe all of the Imperial propaganda. Of course, we can have Mon Calamari laboring for us. They aren't even sentient. Just like those big hairy Wookiees. They're just strong. They climb trees. It's okay if they work. They're probably happier that way.
It's really fortunate for them that we enslaved them.
I mean, domesticated them. Some of that
Oh
rebel
no.
propaganda has been
Oh no.
floating around here lately. Next thing you know, people are going to be saying they have rights. That could be a fun character to play because they're going to have to constantly justify for themselves why they are not representing something awful.
Yep.
Really awful.
Yep.
Indeed. See, the best creations are collaborations. Like the in-universe Dark Jedi super fan.
Well, it's like the thing that I always say about like whenever me and you come up with something, it always ends up in like some kind of dystopian nightmare, and we were getting pretty close.
I can't deny that.
Yep.
Palpatine protects us from the horrors out there in wild space. Anyway. So, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Let me do the anger management.
That doesn't make me feel better.
That's a wonderful moment in that movie, actually. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Oh, really?
If you want.
So, first, do you want to try to make any modifications to the ship because it's a fictitious ship.
Right.
So we can set it up from the beginning. If we're going to be negotiating the cost, we need to know what the purchase is.
I think just for the sake of simplicity, we're going to start with no modifications.
Okay.
Just keep it simple.
I am brand new at this whole StreamYards thing. So
It's different.
Wait, I'm trying to avoid giving too much away here.
He has horrible things in store for us.
Yeah.
I believe it.
The characters we spent weeks on will perish in the first play session.
I'm not gonna do it because I'm so inept at this thing that I can't guarantee what I will or won't show. But it's a gif of Jack Nicholson doing the nod that I was just talking about. And
right. I remember that gif.
Everyone, picture it in your minds and then give me a pat on the back for the great reference.
I'll give you an internet high five. Boom. There we go.
All right.
I feel accomplished.
We haven't introduced I haven't even introduced myself, have I? Inspired by the great streams of the internet, taking forever to get around to introductions.
This is true.
It's a fact. I am Jim, also known as Final Neuron. Wait, that is Theeden,
also known
aka Danger the Llama, also known as Daniel. And this is some guy in a room full of wood.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever.
Me, I don't matter.
I've heard he's number one on Twitch.
That would be a fat lie.
Well, I mean, there are caveats to that. Like there are qualifications to that statement.
I am the best streamer on Twitch named Green Gun Guy.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
I was going to define it much more narrowly, but
I'm also the best streamer in this room that I'm sitting in. So I feel pretty accomplished.
So you're going first.
Okay.
Tell me, do you just want to take it straight stock or do you want to do something else with it?
I think the only thing that he would try to do, just like I said, for the sake of simplicity, just keeping it mostly stock. I think like adding some smuggling compartments, like some hidey holes and things in the ship, would be his primary focus.
So let's see here. You know what? I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna bring up one of those PDFs here in a second.
Okay.
Keep going. Keep talking.
I was going to say also I have thunder and lightning outside, so if
Yeah.
some of that comes through the mic, you know what it is. But yeah, as far as that on the ship, that's really all I would start out with. His strategy is not going to be like outrunning and gunning his way through stuff so much as it is kind of flying under the radar. That's what he wants to do. He just kind of wants to just not get noticed much.
So then he probably doesn't want to have a whole lot of externally obvious modifications to the ship.
Right. He wants a freighter that looks like a freighter.
I promise it's stock.
Totally stock. And then you like pop open a wall and there's a bunch of contraband in there. Where did that come from?
There we
Oh.
go.
Hey, there it is.
Hey, I shared a thing.
It works.
Wow, I haven't humiliated myself.
Not yet.
Oh,
Stream's not over yet.
I was trying so hard. I was so pleased. So this is the ship's general layout. Where are you thinking the compartments would go?
That is a wonderful question.
And how much space are you thinking?
Well, it depends on how much.
Can you guys see my cursor at all?
Yes.
So this is the cargo area as it's listed.
Yeah. I was thinking somewhere around like the cargo area, or maybe like the maintenance hatches that are like number 15
on the side.
Yeah. Like maybe like small compartments in the maintenance hatches, and maybe something larger in the actual cargo, or maybe nearby it, or
I was
like
thinking like maybe you could have something kind of like along the back wall,
right?
Something kind of wedge shaped that would not necessarily be super obvious. It depends on the kind of volume that you want to put in there,
right?
Because obviously these side hatches compared to the cargo bay are not, not much space at all.
Let's see. So what is 18? Storage? Well,
and then behind it is the shield generator.
Right.
So you do need to be able to get through there.
Yeah.
You could modify these walls here a little bit to kind of make this more like a straight passage. And then, like widen this and say, yeah, I enlarged the storage in this room. But then there's actually like a whole chamber in between.
I kind of like that idea.
I don't know to what degree inspections people would fall for that. I would guess that would be like fairly common, but yeah.
But yeah, either of those that we were talking about, I think I would be A-okay with.
Anything else? Anything else at all?
Not really.
Let's see.
It's already got some weapons, and it has the ability to maneuver and things like that. So
it's got a quad laser cannon. That's actually not too bad.
Yeah.
It's actually got some fire control on it and everything. The damage is, yeah. But the biggest thing is being able to hit.
Right.
The range is not too bad on it. Okay. Anything else? Do you want to try upgrading anything? It will change the cost a bit.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just fine as it is, really.
So from what I was reading up on improvements,
right,
the max that you can improve a stat on a ship is plus 1D plus 1, which is like 4 improvements.
Okay.
Which is lower than I thought it would be. And we may end up like maybe there will be opportunities to enhance it beyond that won't be as simple as I upgrade.
I made it more dice.
And the same for Daniel as well.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think Daniel is going to have a very upgrade centric gameplay experience.
Yeah.
A very salvage and upgrade centric.
I was
gameplay
actually
experience.
thinking about that. Like, is there a salvage skill?
You could probably make one.
Because I might need one.
Yeah.
What just happened?
I think we got left all alone.
Oh no.
Jim, are you still there? He might be talking to someone.
Hmm.
We are going to pretend that is the case.
Yeah, it looks like I crashed my browser. That was good.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
Even better.
There for me to push, and I pushed it, and then it died.
Well, it didn't stop the live stream for whatever that's worth.
Because I'm not hosting it.
Yeah.
Ah.
Fun stuff.
Like I may be hosting it in terms of using my account, but otherwise, no.
Right. Well, we were saying, we could probably make a salvage skill for Daniel if we wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah. The rule book specifically says like there are skills that might be related that aren't listed here.
Right.
And for Daniel's sort of on a path where he could even end up taking like starship engineering or work with somebody that has it to take the potential for modification even further.
Yeah.
And like we said before, we have tailored your special skill to work with those things no matter what, so long as you're like really heavily invested in doing the work of taking it apart and putting it together.
Right. I don't want a normal ship, not with this character.
You're not gonna get one.
Ever. Maybe another character. But
I'm like, I just want it bone stock. We're making it easy, and Daniel's like, it must be special.
We've got a new contact on the radar. It
must be awful.
What is it? Is that scrap?
It's fast. It's not symmetrical.
Like an A-wing with like one TIE fighter panel and a Y-wing engine.
The worst of both worlds.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That brings up lots of new opportunities.
Nobody said it had to be symmetrical.
Yeah. There's got to be something Y-ring related on it. There has to be.
So something I found out is in the rule book, a Y-wing's ion cannon is a turret that the gunner operates, and it can fire in any direction, including somebody like trying to tail you and get behind you. So if you play the flight sim, you get behind a Y-wing and they die, unless something else kills you. But here, like even if you win some kind of piloting test of maneuver and you stay behind them, they can still zap you.
Yep.
I mean, some of the Y-wings were like one man and some were two, right? If I remember right.
I think
it's been a while.
I think for the most part they were two. I think the B-wings were two also. I think B-wings were two-person piloted also.
Okay.
All right.
Did not remember that.
So Joe, do you have a preference of what kind of offset you take to balance out the 23,000? Let's say let's say you spent a couple thousand to put in the smuggler compartments.
Okay.
To have a pretty decent job done to where it's not like, you know,
A
you
tarp
lean on a
like
wall
hanging.
and they pop open. Yeah. There's a tapestry at the back of this starship.
Well, why is there a...
I can see under it.
There's obviously something back there.
It's making a sound.
Do I really want to bother? That's his strategy. Is like, just make it like really annoying so that the inspectors are like, never mind.
Yeah, you could store like all kinds of like spare parts for your ship in there, especially like a lot of tubing and wiring and stuff that's all tangled. And
he'll store his Jedi memorabilia collection, and if anyone questions it, he just starts talking incessantly about it. so they're like, okay.
That's the cover. Yeah. I'm sure lightsabers would not be contraband. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all replicas. He starts like regurgitating all the Imperial propaganda until the point the inspectors are like, oh, okay. All right. Yes. All right. Even the inspectors don't believe half the stuff he's saying.
Right. Right. That would be a funny way of going about it. But no, I think we're just going with regular old smuggling compartments.
So let's say the total value of the ship will be 25.
Okay.
And it's got some years on it. Your mileage may vary. How long do you want to have had it? Like, how long do you want to have had it and been operating with it?
Well, I mean, he's got a specialization for it, so it would make sense for him to have been using it a while.
Yeah, a little while.
Yeah. So maybe like a couple of years or something.
There's a training time for skills also.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a day per point of the skill level. So like a 6 dice skill would be 6 days, but I think specialization is half. Regardless, that's only 3 days. Yeah. Every time you would upgrade the skill. So that's not very long.
Okay. Well, let's say he's been running it for like a year or so. And the reason it's mostly stock is because he repaired it like up to stock. Like it was worse, but now he's been working on it. It's just now it's back at baseline.
Who fixed it? How did he pay for
it? He fixed it himself. He does have the skill for it. And he paid for it by good question. Well, we could say it was in worse shape than usual. So he got it cheaper and then offset that a little bit.
That would explain some of his technical ability.
Yeah.
You have the repair skill, right? What did you put in it?
I put 1 in it with his technical is 4 total. 4D total.
So we'll say it wasn't in too bad shape. It was serviceable. Like it was all right, but it needed work. And maybe you kind of ran some small jobs to try to help pay for it. At some point, you're going to have taken on some debt or had something given to you, which implies a relationship.
I see.
Or you did some other job previously in the past. I was a pop idol. I have no singing skill.
Everyone loves me. They gave me money.
I conned them.
I do have the con skill.
You conned them into giving you a loan. It's a sure thing, man.
Yeah.
It's a sure thing.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, I had looked through that list of planets. I was like, this guy's definitely from Nar Shaddaa.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
AKA the Smuggler's Moon.
Oh, yeah. That's literally the name for it. But it's like, yeah, well, like,
It's a place so corrupt. Everybody that wasn't corrupt left.
Yeah. Like the government, like in that source book you had linked us to, the government is listed as criminal organization.
Yeah, it's Hut space.
Yeah,
like Jabba the Hutt's people are the government there.
It's literally a moon around their home planet that they just kept building stuff on.
So it's like Queens.
Never been to Queens, so I can only assume that you're correct.
Why would you ever go to Queens?
I just saying I can't confirm it for myself.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, anyway, about the freighter, I guess we're just gonna go the stereotypical thing and just say he took out a loan, or he's in debt or something like that. And since he's from Nar Shaddaa, it's going to have to be some crime lord. It's not going to be a bank. It's going to be like some hut or something.
How about this? I'll make you suggestions. You tell me how you want things to go. Could he have inherited it? He's from there. He's from the smuggler's paradise.
Technically, he could have. Or like he could have been like working on it as a, like with him and a partner, or like the partner might have gotten offed or something like that, and he inherited it that way.
Buy it from some old guy that wants to get out.
Yeah, that.
Or not so old guy that wants to get out.
Or some not so old guy who got outed. But no, yeah, that is totally an option. Any of that's okay with me.
So pick then. I told you I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that actually sounds good. I like that more than the stereotypical. He took out a loan and he went to the space freighter.
He's not Han Solo.
Right.
He's not.
He's totally not.
So tell me, what are the details? What have you decided on?
I don't know. He didn't win it he didn't win it by gambling.
Okay, so he didn't win it against Lando Calrissian,
right?
In a sabacc game,
right? That didn't happen. As a matter of fact, he lost so hard that someone.
Okay, so you're advocating for an increased prize.
No.
He took the ship that the winner left behind.
He lost his better ship, and
he spent months rehabbing it. Yeah. So what you're saying is you've got a debt for a much better ship that you're going to have to pay off with.
Oh, okay. Well, I like the idea of him buying it off someone like a someone who was trying to get out of the game. And well, I mean, he's from Nar Shaddaa, so that he would have ample opportunities for that.
Sure. Assuming anybody lived long enough to get out.
Yeah. And well, I mean, that also gives the possibility of little surprises the previous owner left in place.
I know.
And yeah, I like surprises.
and like there could be people involved with the ship that you don't know about.
Loose ends are so much fun.
See,
yeah, let's do that.
Let's
do that.
So you bought it off of someone that was getting out of the game.
Yeah, bought it off an old spacer.
An old spacer that just was not fit to continue in it anymore. Wanted to live a quieter life. Glad he was still alive and not imprisoned to death.
Yes.
Okay. It was a little rundown, so you wanted to do some work on it to get it back into shape.
Yep.
You're still going to have to come up with the money from somewhere.
He has an OnlyFans.
But does he have any fans?
Zero fans.
7 huts. They shower him with money.
Hey man, sometimes you don't need 10,000 fans. You just need 7 whales or slugs in this case.
Hey, it's canon that Jabba was into the dancing girls. So like he had a special fascination for them.
Yeah, he owned several.
Many. So so are you saying that you took a loan for the balance?
Yes.
And let's say you put in, you've had it for about a year. Let's say you spent maybe half that time getting it into a usable state, getting it back to stock.
Back to stock. Yep.
It sounds like a movie from the late 80s, early 90s. Back to stock. Maybe along the way you did a little modification to some of the room walls, and there ended up being like a gap.
That's
only accessible in a weird way.
Oh no, what am I going to do with this suspicious gap between the walls? With
so
this
let's say that
one panel that can open up.
So let's say that cuts 6 off of the cost of it.
Okay.
Because it's a very low priced vessel, even in stock shape. So let's put it at 19.
Okay. I am okay with this.
Let's put it at 18. And I'm going to reserve the right for shenanigans.
Okay. I will make a note. Cost is 18 plus shenanigans.
All right. Who's your debtor?
Anyone who would loan him the money. He was desperate to get off Nar Shaddaa, so he just found anybody who would give him the money. So a bank, a hut. Well, it wouldn't be a bank.
Not for long.
Not on Nar Shaddaa.
So let's say he came up with some of the money himself because he was doing repairs on it. Presumably, he was doing anything at all else to support himself during that time. Also, he wasn't just fixing his own ship all the time and living off of savings.
Oh.
Or even if he was, that means he had savings. So
working on his ship, delivering pizzas.
Air speedering pizzas around.
Yeah.
He's dressed up like a hut covered in pepperonis as he delivers
Pizza the Hut.
Pizza the Hut.
Okay, yeah.
Done.
I like it. I like it.
Okay. It's okay. That's official now. So let's say that accounts for another another 3,000.
Okay.
Is that he was able to pay for some of that himself in other ways, and that leaves you at what?
15 plus shenanigans.
Okay. $15 plus shenanigans. I will erase the shenanigans.
Ooh.
If you have more than one debtor.
That's kind of a shenanigan itself.
That's why. That's why. I'm calling it in. If you want to do it that way, I'm calling it in.
More than one. How would that work? So like half
more
the cost
than one person is calling you for money.
You
have to keep them both satisfied.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if that would be more like I'm trying to figure out what would be the more interesting option from a gameplay perspective. Like trying to keep two debtors happy or just kind of whatever else you decided to throw at me. And I think the unknown shenanigan might be more interesting. Might be more
It'll
fun.
be more unexpected. What you're trading is you don't know what it's going to be yet. For you do know, but you're not sure how it's going to come at you.
Right.
And the latter is more likely to have some tension behind it.
Right.
I kind of know what the problem is. I just don't know like what's going to happen. But I do know it's going to come from more than one direction.
Oh, yeah. Well, He definitely would take whatever he could get. So if that was the only way he could get the money, then he would do it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So
because he was sick and tired of delivering low quality chain restaurant pizzas and dressing like a hut.
He's like, there's got to be something. I got to get off this planet. I've got
to do something. Anything else, man. I got the itch. I got to fly. You know what?
It's time to leave this
together.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go with multiple debtors.
Okay.
Just that kind of fits into the whole thing we're crafting for him pretty well. Like he's just kind of he's like almost desperate. He's just like, you got to get out of here. I can't stand another day in the hut suit, man.
They don't even let me wash it. They say it'll wear it down. So, okay. So we'll nail down the two debtors a little bit later because that's going to take a little bit more elaborating. I think that does it. 15 all owed in two debts to do two different sources.
Yeah.
and you put in some elbow grease to get it up to stockish, and you've got a couple of compartments.
Yeah.
You've got some space back there somewhere.
Right.
All right, good.
Yeah. Let's see.
Go.
Would we need to go through like personal equipment as well?
No, you get 1,000 to go through that.
Okay.
Like that's on the lower end of money. So like you complete a smuggling job or something, and you would be able to resolve most of that. You know, like if you found that it was a problem, you could resolve most of that. So probably we even do that offline.
Right.
Just kind of figure out what it is. Although I think you should both have something like a data pad.
Right.
Things have changed quite a bit over the last 20 years, much less over the last 30 years since the rule set came out, and however long it's been since Star Wars first came out. So I kind of want to balance the way that technology is in the movies against what would kind of make sense now that we have more sophisticated computer systems. So we'll talk about that probably another time. All right. Let's go to Theoden. There. All right. Tell me about your starfighter.
So I'm wondering about the what makes it hyperdrive capable. Like if I'm throwing a bunch of fighters together, like different pieces together, what's gonna make it where I can go places without getting a tow? Because that's
that
not
would be
really gonna
important.
be workable. Like
that
you're
would
stuck
be
here.
Important. You work on this planet.
Right.
You do security jobs on this planet.
I also was scrolling through just now and noticed where it talked about upgrading ships, and it looked like you could only improve stats by 1 pip. So,
At a time.
Okay, 1 pip at a time.
At a time.
Okay,
up
not
to
maximum.
4 times. So the max increase is 1 dice plus 1 above whatever the base is.
So what determines the base? Like, well, it's
Stock.
mostly an X-wing, but it got kind of half blown up, so that's what we're gonna use as the base.
We're gonna be flexing the rules for you.
Okay.
Because some of what you're gonna end up doing is not upgrading, but it's like rebuilding. Right. And like I kind of hinted at earlier, if you decide to lean into that side of things, you may want to take the starship engineering skill to do it yourself, or you may decide to develop contacts that could help you with that.
So how does that differ from the repair then, in general terms?
So like if you're upgrading a hyperdrive, you would take out the hyperdrive and you would put in a better hyperdrive, but you would still be sort of like if you're building a computer, you would be swapping components and making sure that everything lines up.
Yeah.
And that's more or less what repair is. Like you might swap out focusing lens or whatever in a blaster for a better grade, something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas like when you've got the cockpit of a B-wing sticking out of the side of a like Y-wing fuselage with both of the engines like above and below, like at that point we're beyond upgrading, right?
That's fair. Yeah. But you'd have to do both to be able to actually put it together. You'd have to have the repair and the engineering in order to pull it off. I mean, I think that's fair to say. But it would mean that, like, if somebody else's ship had issues, it wouldn't be like, well, it worked for me. but it doesn't work for them. Like we talked about last time. Like
I feel like
I know my
we've
shit, but I don't really know anybody else's.
I feel like we've
So
put enough limitation on your piloting skill that we're going to be able to say that you're putting together a ship that's like maybe not even repeatable. Like no one else is going to have this.
It's
Yeah.
sort
And
of a miracle it even works.
yeah, and they're going to have it's going to have quirks. It is going to have some quirks to it.
yeah.
So whatever you want to do is fair game, but we'll balance it.
Okay. Okay. Well, I was trying to think about how that would fit into backstory, um, because I was thinking he would be from Imperial world, where at least there's a base, some kind of Imperial base where he could get recruited, and then
So you're still going to
um,
go with the like former
I think so. I mean,
former imperial military personnel.
yeah, that's kind of what I was leaning. So that might have me lean more toward the ties than the others, but
A former imperial pilot and a former pizza delivery guy team up.
but it's not. I mean, he's not like your regular Imperial pilot. He's kind of a reject. That's kind of crazy. Like he's not just
Couldn't handle the discipline.
stoic. Yeah. Couldn't handle the discipline.
Had to do everything by the book. He doesn't like doing things by the book. He
doesn't
likes
like
doing
doing
things
anything
his
by the
way,
book.
which is way better.
Right.
Yep.
So much
Yep.
better. Yeah, along those lines, I was thinking about a skill in explosives, but we can get to that later, I guess.
Nothing's
Well-
final until it's final.
Yeah, well, I didn't
He's
want
got
to
to
go
get
in
those.
circles.
Got to get those X-wing panels off somehow.
So I don't know, that makes sense to me for a backstory in general terms. So if that's the case, I'm
Dishonorable
thinking
discharge.
no, like he goes rogue and almost gets caught. Like
He's
he gets
wanted.
yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
So how does he avoid getting instantly arrested on every relatively lawful world he goes to?
Well, usually he doesn't.
I'll give you that. It might make things a little more limiting for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that might have to play into contacts. I mean, you were talking about the ship registry too. Like that's either I can do it myself, and if I can do that, then maybe I can do similar things with ID. And if
Yeah.
not, then I have a connection that can mess with both. Whether or not they're any good at it is another question.
So he'll definitely need some kind of fake ID just to be able to operate a ship that doesn't get instantly chased by every like patrol vessel out there.
Yeah.
Like there's buoys around all planets of any report at all, and they're scanning everything coming in and out. So yeah, it would not take long for the Bureau of Ships and Services to realize that there's this lovely cobbled together craft of sorts hopping around planets, and and it was flying together with these ships, and we know who they are. And
Right.
so he's going to need some kind of fake ID. He's going to need some contacts that that would help him do those things.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to help him, which means he's either going to pay them or he's going to owe them.
Yep.
Why did he go into the military?
So I was thinking about. I didn't have a chance to look a lot, but I think it's Christophus was one of the planets,
Wasn't that
and
the fortress world?
um, maybe uh, there is a military base there where it was whatever. Um, and if it's the one that I'm thinking of, they kind of maintain an imperial presence, but then there was kind of a lot of unrest there as well. So like you kind of have that background of, you know, maybe being on the fence and then being like, okay, well I'll join the empire and get off this planet and serve in the military, and then it's like, oh no, those guys were right. They're pretty terrible. And besides that, um, I got to do things my own way. So the combination is just, doesn't work for him. So that's kind of what I was thinking. And then I kind of wanted to, like he steals a TIE fighter and then gets shot down and then uses parts of that to rebuild whatever ship he's got.
Who shoots him down?
I mean, I was thinking the Imperials that chase him, like that he almost gets away but not quite, and then.
So he has to lay low for a while
Mm-hmm.
because they're gonna follow the vessel down and kind of, you know, fly over that area for a while.
Yeah. So either this could start before he has a ship, he just has part of a ship, or it could start after he's been laying low for a while and slowly been cobbling things together, but still doesn't have everything built up. Like maybe he doesn't have a hyperdrive. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't have those contacts to be able to fly it off planet without getting caught. So I mean, you could start it at any of those points. Um, don't have to put all the money in the ship from the front end. It just, so there's some flexibility there.
So I'll do the same as with Joe. I'll make suggestions, and if you like it, run with it.
Okay.
Let's say he was on some kind of training exercise over a planet, not the planet that has like a giant military base on it where they would definitely find him eventually.
Right.
Maybe it's something like checking the planet for pirate and smuggling activity. A planet that doesn't have a whole lot of population on it,
Yeah.
sort of suitable as a training exercise. He decides to make a break for it, and they shoot him down. He manages to avoid getting picked up immediately because it's a training mission. They're not really equipped for like a manhunt on the ground. And so and they also decide that he's probably dead, and if he's not, he's stuck on this worthless backwater.
Yeah.
And we'll get him eventually. And from there, he's able to develop some contacts and acquire some other parts that he would need to cobble something together. Something with a hyperdrive. And that lets him, maybe he has to kind of like get off planet, knowing he's going to get scanned. And then suddenly, there's this like unregistered, unidentified spacecraft, and it's headed that way.
He's got to make a break for it.
Yeah, I think that could work. I guess I'm trying to decide if he's the kind of guy that's like, yeah, I'm gonna make a break for it, or if he's like, okay, this is my chance, and then he like takes out one of his wingmates before he leaves and I think that's kind of more likely because it's kind of hard to take on, 2 or 3 other guys if you don't get the jump on them to begin with.
Backstabber.
Yeah, I don't really like that, but I think that's the only way it would work. I think that's the only way that he gets to keep a piece of his ship that's broken. Otherwise, he just runs away.
Well, we can just explain it. It's part of storytelling is just explaining things. Like he gets shot down, he kind of crashes in a place where it's just not convenient to get a shuttle of any sort, a transport of any sort down in there. And they say, whatever. It's smashed up stuff. It's a basic training fighter. We're done.
What if this could get a little sneaky, and I don't know that this is his personality because he's not much of a con guy. But if he did get shot and then managed to land and then set off an explosion, like fake his own death kind of thing.
Smuggles grenades into the cockpit with him.
Yeah, he stole grenades when he's like, I'm going on this training mission and I'm going to set this all up so I can get away.
Okay. So I like it a little better if it matches his skills, which kind of reflect his background.
Yeah.
So let's say he tampered with his fighter.
Okay, I like that.
He tampered with his craft in a way that he would have system problems.
So then he could report them and then go and crash.
And then, I'm losing control. And then something overloads in his craft and he's going down. And then he actually just kind of gently lands and runs off and then boom. And they assume he's dead.
Blows up his own ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe expecting that it's going to blow up, but I'll be able to salvage certain parts that I need. It's
not going to completely incinerate it. Yeah. Okay.
It's only going to throw the parts around. It won't actually cause them internal damage.
It's just explosive bolts that hold the pod, whatever craft he's in, into the rest of it.
Yeah.
And I like the training mission idea because that means that he's fairly inexperienced but has some training, and so that kind of lends itself to
he's in their system.
I'm not
not done with the whole screening process yet.
Right. I'm not a great TIE fighter pilot. I'm not exceptional on it, but I've got a little bit of experience, and then that lends itself to I learned to fly the thing that I cobbled together better than the thing I used to fly. I like that. I think that'll be good.
So we're going with that as his rough backstory for now.
Yeah.
He was in the Imperial Navy. He found out pretty quickly that, I have to follow the rules. No.
Wow, and this sucks.
And so he rigs his training craft. Yeah. What rules? Nobody told me they're going to be rules in the military. And so he rigs his craft with his technical knowledge to fake his own crash and death. And to pop apart his craft so that a really cursory scan would make it look like, okay, I guess he's dead. And he kind of lays low a little bit and deals with the people there to put together something he can actually fly.
Yep. That sounds good to me.
Do headhunters have hyperdrives? I think they do.
That's kind of where I was leaning.
I think they do.
The TIE fighter pod with headhunter wings.
Nah, that's too cool.
Okay.
It would look too good.
Has to be the other way around.
Yeah. That would look terrible. So I was thinking more like he kind of cobbles the back end of a headhunter onto the front end of a TIE fighter pod. And then has kind of the TIE fighter solar panels on the side. Because it's mostly going to be Maybe we'll find a different vessel that was his training craft. Like maybe it was a scout or something.
Maybe. I kind
But
of
then you'll have to jury rig the blasters on the front because I don't think the scouts have much in the way of weapons.
well, you were talking about the turret on the Y-wing, but it'd be kind of hard to fire, even if that was the only gun you had. So that's probably not gonna work. I may have to look around a little bit. But I mean, it could just use one of the wings of the TIE fighter, like put it on top.
The Z95 Headhunter does not have a hyperdrive multiplier
Hmm.
in the stats.
So we'll have to find something else. So let's not dig any more into that at this point. We're trying to give you a hyperdrive capable, very unattractive vehicle.
I mean,
Vessel.
Y-wings are pretty ugly,
Yes.
so that might be a possibility too.
But it also has to be something you would have been flying during an Imperial training session.
Well, I meant parts of a Y-wing, not the. I still wanted to use the TIE fighter pod. It's so awkward looking on anything else.
So yeah, we'll I got an eyelash here. We'll figure out the more specifics of that some other time.
Okay.
So where does he go after he builds his escape vessel? This doesn't have to be the final form of his vessel. This can just be like, I got something hyperdrive capable. I'm out of here.
Version
Well,
1.0.
I think
Mark 1.
So he's got a knowledge skill of like 2.
Yeah.
And he probably has almost no knowledge skills.
He has all of them. They're just at 2.
Oh well, okay, yeah. So I'm kind of thinking he's like, well, I'll go to one of those city planets, and surely I can find something there, and has no idea what he's getting into.
That
I'm
would
gonna fly
definitely
to a-
get him caught immediately.
That's true, though. Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna fly to a big city. How about that Coruscant place?
Okay, you're in orbit around Coruscant. It has a double layered shield security system with like, you know, several Star Destroyers in orbit and wings and wings and wings.
I read a book about that once. Yeah. Oh man.
He's on the run from the single government authority in the known galaxy.
Then he's going to Nar Shaddaa.
He could.
He could.
This makes it easier for the two of you to meet. I mean,
yeah.
the two of you are going to meet. So if they don't meet this way, they have to meet in another way.
He goes to Nar Shaddaa, and I'm just trying to leave as fast as I can. He's like, hey, I'm going to do some work. Okay, see you later.
Yeah, well, and that fits the urban bill too.
But seriously, he could land on Nar Shaddaa, and he's like, "Hey, I need someone to help me fake an identity and and
that would be a place to do it.
Erase my make this ship of mine legit. That's what I need." And with the dumb luck that apparently he has, he's in the best place in the galaxy for that to actually happen instead of him immediately being arrested. Because I would say Hut space is known to be a criminal territory. Yeah. It's just known. So even with the knowledge of 2, he'd be kind of like, I could fly to the Huts. I could do that.
Like not knowing what he's in for, but it's not the absolute worst choice.
Yeah.
Maybe not a good choice, but
and they'll give him everything he wants for a price.
So yeah, that could work.
So maybe he's able to demonstrate that that his craft is actually capable of something, which is like not what anybody expected. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Oh, and you're not too bad with it, actually. Okay. All right. Um, I kind of feel like he needs somebody to give him a little charity at this point, honestly, because he's way out of his element.
Mm-hmm.
He's even if he doesn't go to Nar Shaddaa, he's on the run from the law. He's going to have to kind of either go straight to the rebels, or and how would he know how to contact them? He probably
Right. He wouldn't.
you can explain it if you want to. If you want to go that way, we'll figure it out. But
I
it's
mean,
going to have to make
I'm not
sense.
opposed to that, but I think that might be more interesting happening over the course of playing than it just being that way from the start.
Yeah. So let's
Because
say he
I
does
don't.
what he knows to do, which is they're criminals. I guess I'll go towards them and I'll just be a criminal.
I'm sort of a criminal already. I mean,
Technically, I'm an illegal
Yeah.
person.
Right. I mean, I'm kind of seeing him as somewhat intelligent and skilled, but not very knowledgeable, very naive and impulsive.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say higher technical and mechanical, but lower knowledge
Hmm.
kind of translates that way.
Yeah.
Knowledge
That's kind of
also
what I was shooting
translates
for.
into like general knowledge about lots of subjects. But if he was from, let's see, Christophsis has a population of 35 billion. That's a lot. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they had a great education or anything like that, or a lot of opportunity to learn things. I would say a low knowledge score almost requires him to be kind of broke, poor growing up.
Okay. I'm all right with that. That's another reason to join the empire. And
Yeah.
I don't have any money anyway. I might as well sign up.
Yeah. All they want is me.
Yeah.
they give you 3 meals and a cot.
3 meals.
Whoa.
What, in the same week? So what do you want to kind of finalize that? He went through the whole faked his own death in the training scenario thing, and then like cobbled something together and got himself to Nar Shaddaa, where he got everything like cleaned up a little bit more, so that at least he can appear in legit space without immediately being attacked by all of
Yeah.
their security.
Yeah. That puts
He's
me
there.
about where I want to be.
Okay. So in order to get the help on Nar Shaddaa, it's
I mean, you could say that I knew someone there, but not very well, just as a first point of contact, because no point of contact at all is like, oh, you landed, you're gonna get thrown with these guys, and you don't even get to choose what you do. They don't care who you are. Like you look like you don't know where you're going. Somebody's gonna take advantage of you and take you for all you've got. So you almost have to have something right off the bat. Landing there, I would think it's not a safe place to just land and not know what you're doing there.
no.
Yeah.
And
Let's put it.
so
let's
he would
set-
almost
let's
have
do
to know
this.
somebody, at least one person,
It could be like,
upon landing.
Let's
it
do
could be like,
this.
we let you land. You work for us now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let's do this. Okay. The person that comes to you first offering help is someone that runs security for operations into and out of Nar Shaddaa. He's kind of like gotten the idea that you're actually skilled enough for the job to actually do it, and you kind of sort of have a ship that can do it. If nothing else, people are going to underestimate you, and that could be in your benefit. And so he offers you, look, I'll clean this up. I'll get you good with the Bureau of Ships and Services. I'll get you an identity that you can use in public. And all you got to do is work for me until you pay off what it costs for me to get that done.
That's very open-ended.
He's also not going to tell you how much it costs.
Right.
Well,
Well-
he'll tell you how much. Now, how much did you earn?
Right. Yeah. How much are you going to take off the top?
Yeah.
I mean, from a point of storytelling, like, he's not going to have a choice. Like, he's just got to take whatever he can get, whatever opportunity shows up first. Now, if
That
that's
doesn't
what
have
it
to be the
is,
thing,
then
but
that's what he would take. But I mean, I think about like the evil uncle that's a criminal connections on Nar Shaddaa, and everybody talks bad about him, and I don't really want to go there because I know he's going to take advantage of me, but he's the only one person I know. And then he goes, and sure enough, he's not great. And that could still be that same situation where you have to pay me back. Like,
okay.
uh,
So his
the
uncle runs a
cutthroat.
security operation.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be uncle, but that might make at least he would know somewhere to look.
Yeah, I see your
Still-
point. He would have to
still
have kind of
retain
an
the-
entry point. Is he naive enough to just like go to whoever's running the starport and be like, okay, this is criminal space, so I'll just talk to them about my criminal problems,
I don't.
and they'll accept me with open arms into their brotherhood?
I don't think we could say he's quite that naive. I mean, if he grows up poor and he uses the empire to get out of it, then he's already made some pretty bad decisions.
Uh-huh.
So you'd think he'd learn at least a little bit, maybe not a lot, but a little bit from that, where it's like, okay, I can't just put all my cards on the table. But I'm also not very good at choosing which cards to play because I'm not a people person. I'm not a con
At
artist.
some point, he has
I'm
to
not
ask for what
persuasive.
he needs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's not going to know who to ask. If you want to say that he already knows someone there, you got to figure out why.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think I want to keep enough level of ignorance about his situation. Um, I think that's gonna be more fun to play than, oh yeah, or I mean, he could even pretend like he knows, but he doesn't have a clue about most of the things that happen there. Like, I don't think, he's never been to this world. I don't think.
There's no reason why he would have gone there. No, not if he's from
Right.
somewhere else and he's legit.
Right. Right.
So what I'm negotiating with you right now is how he's able to function even semi-normally. because a desertee from the Imperial Navy, the second he shows up on, any kind of official capacity as himself, flags go up, and everybody in the area finds out, oh, we've got a deserter.
Is bluffing a skill?
Yes.
That's con. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only thing that I could think of where he wouldn't get totally taken is if he could convince them, like, look, I'm this Imperial pilot, and like act big and tough.
Yeah,
just
you're an
shoot him.
Imperial pilot. Like
Imperial.
Yeah, well,
One
ex Imperial, whatever. But
It's like, yeah, the database says you're an Imperial, one that ran away.
He's talking to the criminal elements.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
like, I mean, who's gonna give you a chance to fly around and shoot at things and say, "Oh yeah, you're not bad"? Like, that just seems unlikely unless there's a connection. Like, okay, I knew my
Okay.
nephew that some
He
idiot
shoots
went and
his-
joined the.
He shoots his way into Nar Shaddaa. He gets approached by like some really junky looking, really, really out of date craft, claiming to be um, like Imperial security, just something really ridiculous that he knows is not the case, and so he dogfights them and takes them because, despite how it looks, his ship is actually fairly capable.
Okay, that's
Um,
somewhat
and
believable, and then he can still be an idiot.
and
Yeah.
it's witnessed because
Okay.
he's blowing other people up in orbit above a heavily populated planet. And so then he's like, well, I guess I'll land now on this planet where I just blew people up. And maybe he's just kind of like, maybe he just kind of goes to a bar or something, a cantina, and he's just sitting there like eating, trying to figure out, I got to figure out how to like earn some money around here. And somebody approaches him and offers him the deal.
Okay. But that deal
What's he
is
gonna
still,
do? Go to another
yeah,
planet?
yeah. But that
Yeah.
deal is
Yeah,
still gonna be, you know, I'll do this for you, and you have to pay it off, and I'll tell you when it's paid off.
that's
And yeah, okay.
we can make it where he's getting like some kind of goodwill from people on that planet, but it's going to take a lot of explaining.
Right.
Yeah.
It
Also,
makes a lot of sense that somebody would want to like get into a relationship with him if they think they can use him.
and
Right, and if he was a good enough pilot, they're like, we want to hold on to this guy. We don't want somebody else to get him. Like they might be willing to be more reasonable. I mean, not necessarily ace pilot, but still, good pilots may be hard to
Yeah,
find for that
yeah.
kind of thing.
If they're competing, they don't want the other guy to have any decent pilots.
Right.
They want them to have like desperate guys that flew air speeders for a while and then think that translates to 3D.
Right. Okay. That's in keeping with his ridiculous story so far. I think that works for me.
So we'll have to figure out how much that's going to cost him. I can probably find that out. He basically needs a new identity and he needs a new transponder in the vessel that would mark it as something legitimate.
Yeah.
market as something.
And I know that you can, yeah. I know that you can switch transponders or add transponders to appear as more than one vessel, and there's a listed cost for that and everything. And this will be more
Okay.
complicated because it's for a ship that
Shouldn't
Isn't
exist.
anything. Yeah.
they're going to be more interested in that ship than a like, oh, it's a YT 1300. Okay.
Oh, look, it's a stock freighter.
Oh, look. It scans as a stock freighter. Nah.
Oh man.
So we'll nail that down. Yeah, we'll get the specifics of that down. So we'll have to get the specifics of um uh, what ship is Frank and what ship is Stein in this ship of yours.
Okay.
The donor
I-
ships. We'll call them the donors.
I mean, I think that I should at least limit it to like two major things, and maybe tiny, like, oh, well, here's the blasters off this. But for the most part, I think it needs to be mainly two ships. For a starting point, I think more than that is going to be too much.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you're going to be on a planet that doesn't have a really large presence of any sort anyway. So resources, it's not like you can find, a whole bunch of parts from all these different craft on there.
Right.
Okay, that sounds good. And I think that means that means you guys will end up meeting on Nar Shaddaa. This is good. This is very good.
Yes, let's
For
meet
me.
on one of the biggest criminal worlds.
I'm
Let's
sure
do it.
everything will go fine.
No.
No.
Why would that happen? Okay, roll. Okay, everything goes fine.
Yeah.
You got paid. Most of your problems are gone now because you got money. Do you guys like Ogre Battle? All right, we're over by a lot, like half an hour.
Yeah.
So let's cut it here. We can still talk in a minute once we're off.
All
So that's it. I think we had a good stream.
Yes, we
I
got
think
a
it
lot
was
done.
good. I think we got something done, and it was fun, at least for me. You guys may have had fun half the time. I don't know, but I had fun the whole time. Alrighty. I'm doing an Ogre Battle 64 playthrough. It is on the same channel, and you should watch it. Even if you detest games like that, you should watch it and give it a thumbs up. You should subscribe and ring the bell, crank the lever, toot the horn.
I would just leave his channel open in a browser
Observe
tab
the
and like refresh it
food
every 5
pyramid.
minutes.
Oh yeah, every 5 minutes, not less than that.
Yeah. Yeah, give him all the views, the repeated views.
So that
don't
You
even
just
watch the thing all
froze.
the way through. Just
watch it all the way through in 5 different tabs. Open as many tabs as your computer can handle. Play it in all of them. Each one, every tab needs to be in incognito mode. And then,
yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to say anything else?
Not really.
No, you don't want to flog your wares.
No.
You don't want to tell them to go to the Twitch. It's probably better if they don't.
No.
They might show up on a Friday or
they'll probably just be disappointed.
Oh, not after this stream. Not after this one. On Fridays, he and I played something dumb. It's a different dumb every time, but it's always something dumb.
It's usually something dumb.
And Daniel.
Yes.
Anything you want to say? Social security number,
save it for later.
address, zip code.
You want to pimp your secret content creation you sub channel?
Right, with all of those that I have right now. Yeah,
right.
Definitely. All those social media platforms that I'm on all the time.
Pimp your.
Who said anything about
Twitter.
social media, you sicko?
I'm sorry.
Man. All right, so I think we're done. That's it. We did some negotiating. I think we laid some interesting backstories for both of the characters, and we're going to have fun playing with them.
Yep.
Adios.